All Americans need a Bible in their home, and I have many. It's my favorite book. It's a lot of people's favorite book. We love God, and we have to protect anything that is pro-God. We must make America pray again.
You know, from a Christian perspective, this is one of the greatest spiritual moments in U.S. history.
It's Christianity under attack, and by extension, because Donald Trump has been the most ardent advocate of Christianity.
What a beautiful message that should be completely non-controversial. This is beautiful. This is blessed.
He's finally done it. He has finally blurred whatever miniature, barely existent still line there was between church and state in America, between obviously insane and plausibly not that insane. Donald Trump, the greatest huckster, shyster, con man of all time, who has always, quite clearly, only been in it for himself, his own aggrandizement, his own financial future. All he cares about is trampling on everything possible for his own gain. He's done it to our country. He did it to the very basic tenets of what was right in this country, trampling on our Constitution, making, even before he was president, making our, at the time, current President Obama show his birth certificate with a complete racist birth or lie, pretends he's religious since day one, yet doesn't even know how to quote the name of one Bible passage that he pretends to read.
All Americans need a Bible in their home, and I have many. It's my favorite book.
And now he's selling his own MAGA Bible, which he launched on Easter weekend. A Bible with Trump's name on it. A Bible endorsed by the candidate for the Republican Party for President of the United States of America. He says our country's going haywire and praying is what's missing. Do you truly believe, even if you're a Trump supporter, for 1 second that Donald Trump ever spends 1 second praying? Do you think Donald Trump goes to church? Do you think Donald Trump cares at all about religion other than the way he can use it to manipulate you? If you'd spent 1 second of critical thinking, you would realize that is incredibly far from the truth. But you don't. You blindly believe what he says. You can't even read his prompter about how important religion is without misspeaking with a great Freudian slip here where he said we have to offend God in the public square. He meant defend, but he said offend.
We must offend God in the public square and not allow the media or the left-wing groups to silence, censor, or discriminate against us.
So of course this is a disgusting, very obvious ploy to make money. But how are his loyalists responding to this one? Is it a bridge too far? Of course not. Here's Newsmax's Greg Kelly, one of the great Trump sycophants, kiss-ups in the world, saying how wonderful this is.
It's kind of amazing that this is now considered radical speech. This is controversial. People are accusing him of blasphemy. This is the furthest thing. This is beautiful. This is blessed.
He kept just making commentary saying this is the greatest thing to happen to the country since sliced Bibles. And then plays another clip, playing Trump's infomercial for his Bible on a supposed purported news network, which obviously it's not. And here's a MAGA pastor saying how wonderful this moment is in pretty stark terms.
You know, from a Christian perspective, this is one of the greatest spiritual moments in U.S. history. Our nation was founded by Christians as a Christian nation. And so the parallels between the Bible, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, all of our founding documents are derived from Scripture.
One of the greatest spiritual moments in U.S. history is Trump trying to use the Christian Bible to make more money for himself. How far can you sink as a person, let alone a spiritual leader, quote unquote? Of course, Kellyanne Conway had to weigh in, and here's what she said.
The Democrats, most of them, and the party for sure, are openly hostile to religion. You walk into any Catholic church, we're both Catholic, Larry, you walk into any Catholic church in any major suburb in our nation, on a Sunday, who's in there? Multi-generations in the pews of Hispanics and Asian Americans. I've seen it firsthand. The masses are in Tagalog, they're in Korean, they're in Spanish. That's who's propping up the churches. The whites are out jogging and having brunch.
Do not dare step on my brunch. Do not dare step on my ability in this free country to go to brunch on a Sunday. You go to church if you want, Kelly. I doubt you are, but you might be. I go to brunch if I'm awake early enough. I don't jog personally, and if you want to take away jogging, that's fine. But I need to hear something sane to end this video, please, to give us some hope. So here is Texas State Rep Tellerico, a Democrat, speaking about the dangers of Christian nationalism.
The Bible doesn't mention abortion or gay marriage, but it goes on and on about forgiving debt liberating the poor and healing the sick. Christian nationalists like to say this is a Christian nation. Not only is that historically inaccurate, not only is that theologically blasphemous, but it's also just not true. If this was truly a Christian nation, we would never make it a Christian nation, because we know the table of fellowship is open to everybody, including our Buddhist, Hindu, Jewish, Muslim, Sikh, and atheist neighbors.
Now that is a religious speech I can get behind. Exactly, finally espousing the actual tenets of religion, the actual values presented by Christianity. If he were a pastor or not a representative, I would consider skipping brunch and attending one of his church sessions or whatever you call them. But luckily he's not, so I will be doing bottomless mimosas while, just being sad about the fact that every norm we used to have is being crushed by Donald Trump in an attempt to make a quick dollar. More mimosas, please. I'm Ben Gleib for Rebel HQ. You can follow me at Ben Gleib on Instagram and X for lots more.